Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. What?
Is locked. Oh, there. I guess you have to hold it that way.
I got to hold it this way. Well, how's the live stream working right this way, folks? Can you see me okay? I like to hold it that way. Orientation is locked. Rotate device back.
That's kind of weird.
I don't like that.
I don't know why that.
I guess we'll go this way.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to start out by talking about this painting that Wendy has been doing here. And, or maybe I'll wait. You know what? Maybe I'll start out in the garden and then we'll get back to this because I don't see any viewers in there yet. And once I see a viewer, we'll get back to the painting. So anyway, I'm going to head out into the garden and I'm going to show you what it's doing here on Salt Spring Island. It is the last day of February. There's one person in there I see. So welcome aboard the live stream PalmCast here on Gulf Island Rock. I did one last night on Jungle Joe C and the day before on Banana JSSI. And I figured, let's do one for Wendy here. So let's head out into the garden and show you what the exotic garden here in the North Pacific is looking like. Last day of February. Now, I posted a picture the other day of an exotic garden. I won't say a tropical garden, a tropical looking garden on Salt Spring Island. And some of the 25-foot palm trees in the garden had some browning on the tips, okay? Browning on the tips. And somebody commented and says, well, I see some winter damage there on those palm trees. Well, that's not winter damage at all. That is summer damage from dry weather, and it often causes browning on the tips. These palm trees here are actually irrigated in spots, so you don't see any browning on the tips. And it'd be pretty hard to have winter damage here on Salt Spring when our low temperature was 27.6 degrees Fahrenheit. And where those palm trees grow, I bet you it got no colder than 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So no winter damage on any Trachycarpus palms here. So these ones are nice and green. You can see the frond growing. See it opening up here, right there. That one's just opening up. These are Trachycarpus fortunei palms. And we just had some garden guests come and visit the garden. A friend of mine, Coconut Kelly, and her friend that wants to make an exotic garden. She lives down on the ocean here on Salt Spring Island. These are new Salt Spring Island transplants that moved here from Bowen Island. Both of them moved here from Bowen Island. So Kelly's been here a few years, and the other gal, I think, just moved here. So very happy to know that she is interested in palm trees. So hope everybody out there is doing well. I won't go too far from the house because I don't want to lose signal. But right now, temperature is just over 8.5 degrees Celsius. And not too bad. A little bit of a breeze out there. I've been busy with the chainsaw this morning in the back 40, bucking up a bunch of trees that kind of fell in the back there in the forest. So we're just going to let those guys rot. So if you have any questions or comments in there, comment. I'm going to try swinging this thing again. Orientation is locked. I don't know what that means, but I have to hold the camera upright like this. So hope your gardens are thriving, folks, and I hope winter's over for you guys too. It almost seems like winter is pretty much done here on the southern Gulf Islands. I'm sure hoping it is anyway. I'm looking at the long-range forecast, and it's looking pretty balmy and palmy. So we're going to go over here, and you can see the gallery behind me. So at Gallery 59, right there in the distance, there's a high. Tried to your baggy method getting mold. Many thanks from Tasmania. Don't overwater it. Baggy method, damp, but not overwatered. I've grown thousands of seeds in the baggy method over the years, and if there's mold in there, it could be too wet. Hello, Sam. How's it going? It could be too wet, and that is a problem. So I got Takeel seeds in the baggie right now, and I'm waiting for them to germinate. And hopefully they will germinate sooner than later. Here, we'll get here. So you can see there's an arbutus trunk behind me here. Isn't that a beauty? I stand in this exotic garden. It's feeling kind of exotic out here. 60 Fahrenheit here. Yeah, it's about 8.7 degrees Celsius here. Something like that. So not too bad. It's a pretty palmy day here. And like I said, it's feeling like spring has sprung here on the southern Gulf Islands. I think it's pretty safe to say. Like I say, I'm looking at the long-range forecast, and I do not see any cold weather in sight. Okay, so that's a good thing. But you never know. You could still get a snuck-in snowfall in in March sometime. Old man winter can be like that here up in the North Pacific. But anyway, I'm quite happy to get into the gardening, more into the gardening mood now that we've got up all the eucalyptus branches cleaned up and burned yesterday, and just a bit more firewood to cut up, and then we're done down there. So I'm looking for another palm tree for a spot at the back of the house. I'm thinking maybe a Camarops humilis. I had the lattice. I think you were probably done with 20. I hope so, Sam. Hopefully no more 20 degrees Fahrenheit weather for anybody out there. And hopefully you can get on with spring. So we'll get this way. You can see the palms here. It's, you know what, folks, cluster your palms. Do not be afraid to cluster your palms. You don't have to single them out. And I like them kind of clustered because it gives you a way more tropical look. Don't you think? There's a lot of palm trees growing where I am right now, and I planted them that way. So we got this palm grove here right at our kitchen window. And these are Trachycarpus fortunei palms. And like I say, if you live in a growing zone where you can grow one of these guys, definitely put a Trachycarpus palm in. They are probably the most cold hardy arborescent palm tree on the face of the earth. And when I say arborescent, that is trunk forming, right? And we all know the needle palm and the sable minor are the hardiest of the dwarf palm trees. So anyway, today is Sunday, the last day of February. Thank goodness, eh? What do you think about southern magnolia in the spot behind those? Don't know if the area is... Yeah, no, we have lots of southern magnolias in our garden, and yeah, it's. I'm not going to put it there because it'll probably get way too big. But our B&B here is called Magnolia Petal, so we have a lot of magnolias on our property here. So I'm going to save that spot for maybe a Camarops when I'm off on the Big Island next week. Not this week. Next week I'm going to be off on the Big Island. So when I'm off on the Big Island, I'm going to stop by Home Depot, and I'm going to see if they have some Camarops palms. And I'm thinking on putting a Camarops palm there. I don't want anything that's going to grow too big. And Camarops are nice because they stay kind of low here, and it's a nice hot spot now that we got the cedar and the eucalyptus tree cut down there. So that's a bonus. So anyway, I'm going to venture into the house, and I just want to show you how Wendy's painting is doing. And she's doing, look at the fatsia behind me. Isn't those awesome, those fatsia trees? Those are big ones there. Kind of look like papaya in a way, don't they? And then if you want the variegated one, there's the variegated one right there. We have a lot of the variegated ones in the garden too. They are absolutely beautiful plants. So try Fatsia japonica in your own garden, folks. We're going to the house here. Look different behind the house. Another shot there. Look at that. No eucalyptus tree and no cedar tree. Hello, Camel. Good to see you in there, man. Glad you made it on Gulf Island Rock. This is Wendy's live stream today. So let's see what Wendy's up to. Heading into the house. And okay. Okay, so here's Wendy's latest creation right there. So what do you think, folks? I think she's pretty much done this. I say a mirror image of that photograph. So somebody sent her the photograph here of his girlfriend taken in Palm Springs. It's a friend of mine I used to go to school with, elementary school and high school, and he lives over on the mainland near Vancouver. So there's a picture of his girlfriend, and he hired Wendy to recreate that into a painting, and there it is. But you know what Wendy added? She asked if she could put palm trees in her reflection of the glasses. Look at this. Check out this. She just added these today. She's got the palm trees in the reflection of the glasses because this was taken in Palm Springs, right? Don't you love the palm trees? So Wendy's really good at doing people's portraits. That's what I call that, a people's portrait. And she actually does them when we are on Maui. She brings her paints with us, and she paints on the beach on Maui. So there you go. I think it looks pretty close to the image up there, don't you think? To the photograph. There you go. And I think she's going to deliver that next. I think she's going to deliver that next week over on the mainland. She's got to take it over on the ferry, and then the guy's going to pick it up. So I think that's a pretty cool portrait right there, folks. Sunny and 80 Fahrenheit, perfect combo, perfect, nice. It is mostly sunny here and about 47 degrees. 47 degrees Fahrenheit here on Salt Spring Island. So not too bad. I'm not going to complain. I mean, considering our latitude, you got to remember I am in Canada, right? And we are far from any southern latitude. So technically, when people are living in Canada, don't you think we should be covered in snow and there should be no palm trees here? So that's the way I see it. I'm just happy we can grow what we do here. Look at the back there. You can see the bamboo. Look at that bamboo. Isn't that beauty? Nice clump of bamboo, and everything's cleaned up over there now. I carved a big tiki out of that log down there. It's hard to see right down there. There it is right there. And it's too heavy for me to lift up. So I got to clip that eucalyptus tree. That's one I cut down last year and it's grown back. So after this live stream, I am going to clip back that eucalyptus tree. First time this year, kind of feels humid. I don't know, dew point. Wow. That's one thing we don't get here. The only humidity we get is in the wintertime with rain. It is definitely spring-like weather here. Like I say, lots of things are blooming and no more cold weather in sight for us here on the Gulf Islands. So that is a good thing. I'm done with cold weather, and our short-lived cold snap was long enough for me. And like I say, it wasn't cold enough to damage anything in our garden. I'll show you the Butylon. Follow me. I'm holding the phone upright today. It's just kind of weird. Hopefully it goes on YouTube okay. 90%. Oh my God. That's high humidity. That would kill me, man. That would really kill me. I know we had somebody in there from Maine the other day. There's a plate from Maine. You see that? There's the Maine plate. Don't have one from South Carolina yet. We got to get a plate from South Carolina. So anyway, these are blooming. These are starting to bloom right here. The ribes, these are flowering currant. It's all budded up and ready to pop, just like the camellias. This one right here is a really cool plant. This is a Butylon, a really nice subtropical, I think they call it Indian mallow. And it's pretty big. Wendy actually cut some of it back. So this is a evergreen flowering maple from the subtropics, and it gets beautiful mauve flowers on it. And it blooms for a long time. And it's very tender, the foliage on it. It looks like the leaves should fall off, but it absolutely is flawless. It's a really nice plant. So if you can get a hold of an Indian mallow, try one. I mean, growing at this point. Yeah, we don't have a lot of weeds in our garden because we have so many plants. There's really no competition for the weeds. It's just so thick with plants, and we use so much mulch. Wendy's always putting mulch down in the gardens here. It is really thick. Here, I'll just spin around here and you can see. And then on the ground here, we have gravel, like pea gravel. So it's a really low maintenance garden we have here. Extremely low maintenance. No lawn to mow, and just a whole lot of palm trees. There's some daffodils blooming down there. And then, it was so mild. Look at the, you know what this is? This is a deciduous bush. This is hydrangea. These are Hydrangea Macrophylla. And look at that. They didn't even lose their leaves. That's how mild this winter was. That's pretty crazy, isn't it? And then here's another one you want to try. This is Acanthus mollis. This is bear's breech. And this was green right through the winter too. They are actually evergreen here. This sends up really cool tropical looking flowers. So that's bear's breech. It'll grow even bigger. So what we thrive on is evergreen plants. Are the bananas yes, I think they're starting to push out. Scotty's are too. I was at his place last week and the bananas are pushing. Pics in portrait. James, do you grow sugar cane? No, you could never grow sugar cane here. It's too cold in this part of the world. It could grow it as an indoor plant, but no, there's no sugar cane in this part of the world. You're not going to grow it anywhere in Canada. I've eaten sugar cane before. It's kind of fibery. I'm just looking at this. Somebody just sent a message. A message just came in from Hawaii. I'm on Wendy's phone, so it's not for me. It's for Wendy. So anyway, I am enjoying the day. I just wish the weekends wouldn't go so fast. There's two types will grow for you. You think so? You think I could actually grow sugar cane here on Salt Spring Island? I don't know, man. I don't think sugar cane would grow here. But who am I? I'm no expert on sugar cane. If there was one, I would definitely try it for sure. I'm game on trying anything. I just know some plants aren't that cold hardy, and I want something that's more long-term here. Purple sugar cane is a possibility. Is that right, eh? Purple sugar cane. Well, that's kind of cool. I'm going to get into this garden here. How's that? That's kind of palmy, isn't it? Kind of palmy right there. I like to be in with the palm trees, folks. And look at the base on this arbutus tree. Isn't that a beauty? So that's your native Pacific madrona. You want to try one of those in your garden if you can get a hold of it. They're one of the most trickiest trees, most difficult trees to transplant. There is Pacific madrona. And that's Arbutus mensasia, and they're actually a native tree on our island. And the bark peels like eucalyptus, and they got really tropical looking leaves on them. They are evergreen, and they are bloom. They're actually, some have been blooming already for weeks. They're generally a spring bloomer, but some have flowers on them now right down by the ocean. And generally you do see them down by the ocean. Another message just came in from Hawaii. I'm looking, they come across the top of the screen. So Wendy's got friends in Hawaii, so I guess they're messaging her right now. Anyway, I hope the live stream is going okay so far. I hope the quality is okay. We don't have any B&B guests staying here right now, so that's a good thing. They're not using up my internet energy. So I'm just going to show you something here. The passion vine. There's the passion vine right here. You can see that? Passion vine here. It's evergreen as well, and it's actually growing. Look at the growth coming off of this thing right here. So that's passiflora. Quality is good. Okay, thanks, Sam. That's awesome. So, and these, if you can grow a passion vine, do it, because they get really beautiful, beautiful flowers on them. And very, very easy to grow. Stand here, and you can kind of overlook the garden. See the background foliage? Isn't that nice? Don't palms make things look better, folks? I think palm trees make things look a lot better. Do you have any non-evergreen trees that you plant? Not really. Wendy does. She likes Japanese maples. Personally, I don't really like them because they look like they're dead in the winter. That's why I don't really like deciduous things. It looks cold and it looks dead in the wintertime. So she's got hibiscus here. These are hibiscus. They look like they're dead in the winter to me, you see. So it'd be tough living in an area where there's a lot of native deciduous trees, because to me it looks a lot colder. I will grow USDA zoning, definitely. Oh, is that right, Camel? Okay. Definitely worth a try then. I'll have to look into it. Hardy sugarcane. Anyway, deciduous, hibiscus, and then down there below it is a Japanese maple, Acer palmatum dissectum otopurpureum, cut leaf maple. I like that. There's a camellia, and then we got the bamboo, lots of evergreen ferns, and fatsia. Probably slow grower for you, though, because it doesn't get that. Yeah, exactly. So our hottest we get here is we usually get into the low 30s. The highest temperature I've ever recorded here is probably around 36. I think 36 degrees, 35, 36 degrees Celsius at this end of the island, but that's not often, okay? Usually we're up into the mid to upper 70s here in the summertime, which is good enough for me, because I don't need it any hotter than that. I just find it really hard to work in when it gets hotter than that. You get kind of sluggish, and I lose energy. I have most energy right now. And these temperatures right now at 47 degrees, man, I am just full of energy. Once it starts getting really hot in the summertime, I just start lacking energy, and it kind of sucks, because I am a very energetic, cranked up person. You know what I mean? I don't really slow down much. The only time I slow down is when I go to sleep, and I even move around when I sleep too. We were 100 day around 80, like, wow, in 2012, 100F. Never been to 100F at this end of the island, I don't think. The hottest temperature recorded on Salt Spring Island is just over 100F, and that was a long time ago. But no, it hasn't been 100F. I don't think where I am here, because we're too close to the water. So inland areas of Salt Spring Island will get to 100F. And I certainly would not want to work in temperatures that hot. But thank God the summers here are dry. The humidity is very low, and that makes it more bearable, right? When you have humidity and high heat, it is really a tough thing to work in, because first of all, your shirts and your clothes get really tacky. Don't you find that? And I've been into a few humid days in Hawaii. Most of the days in Hawaii, I don't find that bad, because there's usually trade winds blowing. But when you get the humid days, I just find it gets kind of tacky. Don't go to South Ken? No, I couldn't handle it. I would not be able to handle it, Camel. I was in Miami in the winter, and the day I landed in Miami was February '96. It was cold. It was down in the 50s. I think it was around 53 degrees or something. It was flipping cold. 54 degrees Fahrenheit. It was raining. The next morning I woke up, it was in the 70s, and it was humid, and it was not good, man. I did not like the climate in Miami at all. It just did not do anything for me. So I like the vegetation though. I thought the vegetation was pretty awesome, but I did not like the humidity. I just found it kind of killer. Lots of birds flying by up there. So anyway, I think these. Let's just see. New add. Now add the add the humidity. Yeah. These trees got to go next. You see those two tall trees right there? Those guys right there. Those guys are going to go. Those are Douglas firs. So that's a lot of the native vegetation here, like I say, are evergreen trees. And that's a lot of firewood there. But man, we've sure opened this place up. And it's going to get baking hot back here now. This is the south side of the house. So south side of the house, I'm going to have to grow something really special here that likes the heat. Let's go look at the waggies. I'm going to show you the waggies here. Here's some waggies. You see those babies? Trachycarpus wagnerianus there. These are smaller ones. And another Trachycarpus wagnerianus. Here, a branch fell on that one and kind of busted that frond in the middle there. But those are Trachycarpus, pure Trachycarpus wagnerianus palms. Grass out of the grass. Yeah, our grass grow cactus in the... Yeah, we go lots of cactus, Sam. We have a huge cactus patch. Those palms, look. Yeah, they're doing pretty good, Camel. And then, of course, we have lots of palms there. And you can see the arbutus tree behind me. So, yeah, we have a lot of cactus and succulents and stuff like that, and lots of yuccas around the garden because it does get very warm and it's very dry here. And the soil composition really does suck here. It's extremely rocky and extremely dry, so it's very fast draining. So it is actually hard on palm trees. It really is hard on Trachycarpus palm trees. And that's if I'm going to lose a palm tree, it's going to be in the summertime from lack of water. So I wish we had rain in the summer months. I really wish it would rain. Maybe every third day would be absolutely awesome. If we had rain every third day in the summer months, it would make for a really happy garden. You see that arbutus behind me there? That's one. We have so many of those native arbutus trees on our property, and they look super tropical. That is Canada's most tropical looking native tree right there behind me. It's Canada's one of only 2 native broadleaf evergreen trees that can be found here in certain areas along the Pacific coast of Canada. The other one is called a Pacific Wax Myrtle. We have 2 of them on our property, and I'm going to get some more of them. And those are found actually on the far west coast. Do you ever get thunderstorms? Pretty rare, man. Sam, very rare that we ever get thunder or lightning here. When we do, I hope I have my camera with me, and I usually do. I try to get a video of it because thunderstorms are not very common here on the Gulf Islands. I've seen some pretty good ones in the past, but not often. It's like getting hail. We don't get a lot of hail here either, and when we do get hail, it's so tiny, it's so minute, it's nothing really to write home about. Almost every day in the evening. Yeah, the weather here is actually really boring. Okay, it's when I talk about weather on Salt Spring, it's either wet or it's either dry or maybe we get some snow in the wintertime. And it's pretty consistent, like I say. There's not a lot of swings in temperature. It doesn't go from like 50 degrees Fahrenheit to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. It doesn't, there's no big swings like that. You know, like in the wintertime, like I say, in a deep freeze, this deep freeze, we were 27.6 for a low, and the high temperature around 33 degrees, something like that, 34. So less extreme Mediterranean climate. Yeah, it is a Mediterranean climate here. And if you Google the Gulf Islands, it will tell you it is a Mediterranean climate here. It's mild, wet winters and warm, dry summers, low humidity. So it really is. The southern Gulf Islands are in a rain shadow, and it is a Mediterranean type climate. And that's why we do grow commercial olives on the south end of Salt Spring Island. There's a huge olive farm, the Salt Spring Island Olive Farm. And they have a website. You can check out what they do. They sell olive oil. It's not cheap, but they claim it's the best olive oil in the world. Right now, 60 Fahrenheit tonight, 34, tomorrow night 20. So yeah, so you got a lot bigger swings than us. So last night the low temperature was around 6 degrees, and right now it's about 8.7. So there's about a 2 or something degree difference in temperature between the minimum and the maximum right now. There's really not a lot of swing, and that's because of the, like I say, the Pacific Ocean. It's all to do with the Pacific Ocean, and there's some people out there that just can't understand why we're not living in igloos here in this part of Canada, and how can we grow this here and you can't, and they can't grow it in St. Paul, Minnesota. Well, those same people don't know much about the climate. You got to look at the ocean. The ocean is like a heat bank. It's a large body of water, and really the ocean temperature here probably doesn't get much colder than 8 degrees Celsius, right? So anyway, that releases the heat in the winter months and regulates the air temperatures. And 2 Wednesday ago, -2. Yeah. It was like Dallas too, right? I mean, now it's 80 degrees in Dallas, and it was like, what was it, below freezing? I think they got to below freezing, right? Do you get Portuguese man? No, but we have lots of jellyfish, some huge, I got videos, Camel, of huge jellyfish on our beaches, and yeah, they will sting. Our waters do have a lot of jellyfish in them, but it's rare that you ever hear anybody get stung. But at a certain time of the year, they wash up on the beach and they die. They are these huge orange jellyfish, about the size of a dinner plate or bigger. And I do actually have videos of the jellyfish. So I'm going to go inside now. And we'll take these off. I'm still looking forward to planting maybe a Camarops palm in that spot. And I'm also looking forward to unveiling my secret palm tree I have covered up with the bucket, the nursery bucket. And I know a lot of you guys have been guessing out there, trying to guess what it might be. Somebody said a lady palm, maybe a Washingtonia, maybe a phoenix. Well, we'll just have to see. So on March 17th, I'm going to unveil that palm tree. So on St. Patrick's Day, stay tuned. And I would do it. Are there any sharks? Yes, there are sharks here. Yeah, I used to fish for them with my kids. We go down to the dock at night, and they're mud sharks in our waters around here. And I don't know if there's any other ones, but we have mud shark. Okay, it's back. And off the west coast of Vancouver Island, the odd great white has been spotted, but it's pretty rare. The waters here are pretty safe. There are giant octopus up here. There are big octopus in the waters here too, but I don't know if those guys are dangerous. There's eels. There are big eels. I guess they're called, are they wolf eels? Maybe they're wolf eels, I guess. So the only time I actually saw an eel in the ocean when I was scuba diving off the north shore of Hawaii with my cousin, and I saw an eel. And that was the only time, but I've never scuba dived around here, and that was the only time I actually ever scuba dived was on the island of Oahu. It was nice. It was warm, and a lot warmer than our waters here, that's for sure. So there's lots to see under the ocean, folks. So if you ever get a chance to scuba dive, even if you do it once, it's great. The scuba diving around here is absolutely beautiful around the Southern Gulf Islands because the clarity, the water's so clear and light, and so you can see quite a ways down, right? So there's lots of crabs you can get down there if you're scuba diving. You can get scallops, and too deep is prawns. You're gonna need a prawn trap. They're like 400 feet deep. You're not gonna be diving that deep, but there's definitely lots of things to see. And if you're lucky enough, maybe you'll see some killer whales. Can you imagine that, scuba diving and bumping into killer whales? That would be crazy. So anyway, folks, I'm going to cut her loose pretty quick here and say thank you for joining in the live stream. Because like I say, I want to go outside and do some work in the garden and get it done before dinner time. It is, what time is it here now? Let's see. It is 2:25 p.m. Pacific time. And like I say, just under 9 degrees Celsius. Not a bad day. Not a bad day. I think seasonal temperatures are around 9 or 10 and lows are 3. Yeah, there's lots of orcas here, Sam. Tons of orcas. There are minke whales. There are transient orcas. There's gray whales. And there are dolphins. There's white-sided dolphins and Dall's porpoise. So there was a super pod of dolphins captured on video about 5 years ago or maybe 6 years ago off of our island by a BC ferry passenger on the boat going over to the mainland. And they were just getting through active pass between our Gulf Islands there. And there was a super pod of white-sided dolphins, about 1,000 in the pod. and they had it on video, man. I wish I would have captured that on video. So a super pod of dolphins in the Gulf Islands is something else. It's out of this world to see it, man. If you ever get a chance, watch that video. Super pod of dolphins on the Gulf Islands, near the Gulf Islands of Canada. It was right off of Salt Spring Island, so pretty cool. But lots of workers. We have whale watching here on Salt Spring. So when you come to Salt Spring, you can go whale watching. They'll take you out there in the Zodiac, and you're always going to see whales. I got videos of killer whales on my channel. I looked at winter temperatures across the world, and it says your winter past 90 is one of the warmer. Oh, really? 1 degree warmer than normal. Well, that's a good thing. Cool. Right on. Yeah, I don't know how many degrees warmer, but if you say 1 degree, cool. Yeah, it doesn't get that cold here anyway, really. Like I say, it's rare, like even in a really cold winter, that we ever go below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So what can I say? It's all good, and it's a good place to be. If you want to live in Canada and you want to grow and you want to garden year round, that good place to be is on the Pacific coast. You know what I mean? Mild winters, you don't have to wear a parka, you don't have to have a snow blower, and there's people that ride motorcycles here year round, okay? Except, of course, when it snows. There's the odd moron that goes out there in the snow with his motorbike, but that ain't me. I did that when I was younger on my dirt bike, but I ain't going to be taking my Harley out in the snow. So anyway, folks, I think I should roll and get some stuff done. Dallas was around 4 degrees colder than normal. It was about a degree. Oh my God. That's crazy. Yeah, Dallas, I feel sorry for my friends in Dallas and their palm gardens. And I really hope most everything they have recovers. And I think they will be pleasantly surprised. They can't be too hasty in taking stuff out. You have to be patient with plants that have been through a really bad freeze like that and wait it out. And a lot of things may spring back into life. I remember a time, it was years ago, when I lived south of Vancouver, and we had a bad freeze. And Mom and Dad had a eucalyptus tree beside their place. I planted it, and it was pretty good size. It was maybe 18 feet tall, something like that, 17 feet tall. And it totally defoliated. Mine did the same thing. I cut mine down. That crazy, because in an average can be over 90 days. That's crazy. So anyway, I cut my eucalyptus trees down. I said, Mom, I can come and cut yours down. And she says, no, leave my eucalyptus tree. It might spring back into life. Well, sure enough, their eucalyptus tree totally refoliated. I guess it was April. It was about mid-April. It started popping leaves out everywhere. And I was too impatient, and I cut mine down. So now I wait as long as I can. So if you have a winter damaged plant and you think it might be dead, wait till the warm weather comes. And a lot of times that plant will refoliate. Or if it's a palm tree and it's a fairly hardy one, yeah, the outer fronds can be fried off, but it may start sending out new center spears again too. Like a lot of the camarops and fried hardier palms that are maybe not sable minor needle palms, because those didn't get damaged, but camarop certainly did get fried in Dallas. I think a lot of those ones will probably recover. And I also bet Washingtonia fliffera will probably recover too. Loquat look crispy brown. They may recover too. They're pretty hardy. So we'll just have to keep our fingers crossed for them. 5 to 10 degrees warmer than Eastern Canada. Is that right? Hey, wow. Well, that's good. So they had a mild winter too. And I don't know if winter's over yet for those guys, because often those guys can still get a blast of winter in March, and they can still get dumped on with snow. So fingers crossed. Hopefully they don't get it. Hopefully their winter's done too. And I'm thinking ours is done. Do you grow fruits of veggies? Yes, we do. We have we have a vegetable garden, and I was just kind of tilling up some of the leaves and soil yesterday. So we have to get our veggie garden. Yes, you're streaming. Yes, on Wendy's channel. So we have to get the garden ready for this upcoming season. We're going to plant beets. We have Swiss chard in there, potatoes, maybe some carrots, lettuce, leeks, onions, just a few things in there. There's rosemary growing around in there and stuff, and sage, but it's down in the lower part of our property on the south slope, so it does get pretty warm in there. And so anyway, I think I do have some videos of our garden there. It's not a very big garden, but it's big enough for Wendy and I. And it's nice to grow your own veggies. We live just kind of a kitty corner to a really big farm. It's a 200-acre farm, and there's a farm stand there that's out of this world. It's like a store that sells produce. Cool. I'm here in Burnaby, looking to move to one of the islands at some point. Cool. Awesome. Wait on, Jay. You will like the Southern Gulf Islands, and you will also like Vancouver Island. Vancouver Island's a great place too. So if you don't make it to the Gulf Islands, Vancouver Island is cool. Sunshine Coast is cool. I like island life. I like living on an island. I wish our island was more remote. I wish we were another 1,000 or so miles out into the ocean. and it'd be a lot harder to get here, but it is still kind of difficult to get to Salt Spring Island. It's not where you could just come here anytime you want. There are schedules in the ferries, and you have to make a reservation. March weather weird. Quebec today was 5 and unmelted lots. -10 and yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, you get a lot of big swings there, Ben. And I was just talking about that earlier before you came in. The Gulf Islands, we don't get big temperature swings. It's more like steady. It's more like consistent here. There's no big ups and downs with temperature or weather. Weather here is very consistent, and you can almost bank on what it's going to do. It would be much more expensive. It would be, but I would be here. I mean, Salt Spring Island is an extremely expensive place to live. And I'm not talking just houses. Prices of houses here are expensive. You can't even get a junkie house for under $500,000 here. That's how expensive it is. It would be a crappy fixer-upper for under $500,000, or maybe even at $500,000. And getting here is an hour and a half direct. So it's an hour and a half direct ferry if you drive about I guess it's 15 miles, 20 miles south of Vancouver to a very palmy town called Tsawwassen. And then you get out to the ferry there, and the ferry from Tsawwassen takes you to Long Harbor on Salt Spring Island. That's the eastern ferry terminal on our island. We have Fulford Harbor on the south end, which takes you to Swartz Bay to Victoria. And then there's one around the corner from us that takes us over to Crofton on the Big Island. And that's only a 20-minute ferry ride. The south end is a 30-minute ferry ride. And like I say, the other one to south of Vancouver is an hour and a half direct, but usually takes about 3 hours because it stops at the other islands. So if you stop at the other islands, you're going to stop at Pender, Maine, and Galliano, and then you go across straight over to Vancouver or to Tsawwassen, and that's a 3 hour ferry ride. So a lot of people don't like to take that, and it is pretty expensive to take the ferry. It's not cheap. So that's why. It's not so busy right now when it's not tourist season, but it does get pretty busy in tourist season. And tourist season here starts. There are few tourists here right now. I wonder, I want to grow on Easter Island. I bet you some cool palms grow on Easter Island where they have the Easter Island heads. I'd like to see Easter Island. I'd like to see Christmas Island too, right? There's a lot of islands I would like to see. I used to live on Lulu Island when I was a kid, and Lulu Island's a big island just south of Vancouver. I lived there for just about a decade, and there's a lot of palm trees there. Planning a house in Idaho, maybe at the very sheltered with mountains. Yeah, I don't know if there's too many palm trees there, but you could probably grow lots of yuccas. I think Trachycarpus would probably be short term in Idaho. I know a guy that does grow palm trees there, but I think he protects them when it gets cold. But if you can move to the States, that's awesome. It's not that easy to move to the States if you're Canadian. The best thing for you to do is marry an American chick, right? If you marry an American chick, then you can move to the United States. But if you're just Canadian, you cannot just pack your stuff up and move to the States unless you have dual citizenship. So if one of your parents is American, then you can move to the States, and it goes the same way with Canada, right? So when my son got married in southern Texas, he brought his Texas bride to Canada, but he had to sponsor her, and he also had to get an immigration lawyer, which cost thousands of dollars. I think he paid close to $7,000 for an immigration lawyer to bring his bride to Canada. So he sponsored her for a couple of years, and she's been here since January 2012. She still lives in Victoria. She lived on Salt Spring for a few years, maybe 2 years, and then they're in Victoria now. So, and I don't know what she's doing there, but they're not together anymore. They separated. They were together for several years and they separated. So I haven't heard from her, but her sister is my friends on Facebook. Her sister lives in San Antonio, Texas, right? So her sister's in San Antonio, and she was from Weslaco. Weslaco is just west of Brownsville, Texas. Italian. Yeah, I'm Italian too, Benjamin. Dad's side of the family is Italian. So I can't move to the States. Although Wendy used to live in the U.S. when she was a kid. Wendy lived in North Dakota. And she used to go to school there and stuff. Her dad used to work at a college in North Dakota and teach. He was an anthropologist. So he taught at a college in North Dakota. So Wendy at one time did live in the U.S. and her family, right? And like I said, she used to go to school there. That would have been when she was in grade 4, I think, or grade 5, something like that. She just told me it was very cold in North Dakota. The winters sucked. So anyway, and then they moved west to White Rock, which is a border town about 30 miles south of Vancouver, right on the U.S. border. And White Rock, there's a lot of palm trees too. It's right on the ocean on Semiahmoo. And at Crescent Beach, just east of White Rock, you can look southwest into our southern Gulf Islands at a distance. It's pretty cool. Can't believe she would live in such. Yeah, well, her dad got a job there, Sam. That was it. She was only like 10 years old. So it's because her dad got transferred there. He had a job there, so it was just there for work. But she just remembers that lots of snow and lots of cold temperatures in North Dakota. Me, I couldn't live in North Dakota, man. It's after you've been, if you live in Canada, once you get a taste of the West Coast, you probably would never ever live anywhere else in Canada. And that's the truth. Even Washington survives for a few years, MB areas. Yes, it does. I know of one growing near Spokane. I forget the guy's name. He posts pictures of it periodically. And yeah, it's amazing because it's so far in from the ocean, it can get really cold there. It gets a lot of heat. It's right on the Idaho border, gets a lot of summer heat, but it also can get bitterly cold in the winter, but it's definitely a dry cold. But yeah, there are Washingtonia. I think the one guy, I only know of one that's growing over there, right? And I'm not going to waste my time growing Washingtonia flifera in the garden anymore. They are a complete waste of time anywhere on the Pacific coast of Canada. They hate the dampness. They hate the damp coolness. And you probably end up getting botrytis before the cold ever kills them. You'll get that fuzzy mold all over the center spears, kind of like growing a Jacaranda mimosifolia. I've grown Jacaranda. I tested them out. I grew tons from seed years ago, and they all died before it even got that cold. It was cool and damp, and that's what actually got them before the cold weather killed them. It was the cold, damp, and the moisture caused botrytis, and they got fuzzy mold all over the stems, and that was it. So Jacaranda is a complete waste of time, like bougainvillea. I've experimented with a lot of plants over the years, so I know what works and I know what doesn't work here on our coast. I've lived here long enough and gardened long enough here on Salt Spring Island to know. So I'm no greenhorn at gardening here, okay? I just didn't start gardening a year or two ago. I've been gardening here on the coast for 4 decades, 40 years. So a long time. Joe from Northern Germany. Hey, Ed, how's it going? How's everything in Germany? And how is your weather in Germany? And hopefully your cold weather has passed. Because I know parts of Germany and Belgium and the Netherlands got some pretty cold weather. I know Netherlands got down to minus 13 or something like that in some areas. I think it was minus 13 degrees, something like that. I think that's what Martin was telling me. So hopefully everything's okay there in Germany where you are. Unprotected even for some years in Lewiston and Pasco. Yep. Yeah, I know of those ones, and I've actually seen. I think there was actually articles of palms. A guy growing them years ago in HPI. Hardy Palm International is our Pacific Northwest Palm Society journal, right? So there's people from all over the world that write in and show what they're doing in different parts of the world. And there was a guy in Idaho growing some palms. I mean, there's people all over the place growing palms. It's no surprise to me that, yeah, people in Montreal grow palm trees, but more short term. Yes, definitely short term. Here are some example. Big swing. We had snowiest February record 1 week ago. I'm measuring 11 inches. Isn't that crazy, eh? Temperature swings. Yeah, you would get very bored with the weather here. It really is. The weather on the Gulf Islands is not exciting at all. It is. There's nothing really exciting here. So when we get a lightning storm, which is very short-lived, or thunder, it's an event, man. It is an event, and it'll probably make the newspaper. If you get some hail, it's a big weather event here. If we get a little bit of hail, snow usually makes the paper too, because it doesn't last long. But and wind. We don't get a lot of strong winds here, but when we do, it is an event. So that's why I shot a video the other day of the windstorm that was forecast that never panned out. Often they really forecast these really cold temperatures at the Weather Network or the Weather Channel, and most of them don't pan out. What is the name of the Palm Society again? I'll look it up. Pacific Northwest Palm and Exotic Plant Society. It's a chapter of the International Palm Society. So it's been around since 1984, and I've been in it since the 1980s. And in 1990-91, I was president of the Pacific Northwest chapter. Longtime president is Rudy Pinkowski, and then Nick Parker. I don't know who the president is now. It might be John Bridcombe. I think it might be John Bridcombe, and anyway, in Vancouver. So a tsunami would be exciting. Yeah, and unfortunately, it would never bother us, a tsunami. We would not be affected by a tsunami here on Salt Spring Island. I think we wouldn't get any big waves because we've got too many islands around us. I think the water would come in through and rise up and maybe infiltrate the lowest areas. Yeah, washies in Boise, I wonder if they are... No, I don't think there's any long-term washies in Boise, Idaho. I just think it gets too cold in Boise. But there are long-term washies in New Mexico, believe it or not. But I don't know if there's any long-term ones there. Yeah, it's crazy cold winter. Wow. Did you say minus 18? That's cold. Minus 18 is really cold. Hopefully the palms are doing okay. I wonder how the palm trees are doing at Lake Constance. 10 day, 2 in the night, from 10 in the day to 2. Oh, well, that's not too bad. So our low this morning was around 6 something degrees Celsius. And right now it's around 9 degrees Celsius. Do you know about what elevation about the ravine is? I don't know what our ravine is, but I know where I am right now. Ed Posse, palms are okay, good. My elevation here is about 160 feet above sea level. And the ravine is quite a way down. It's probably another 100 feet lower. No washi protected. And no, the washi is, yeah. Oh, yeah, it'd be definitely protected. Yeah, our ravine must be another 100 feet lower than where we are up here. So it's quite deep, the ravine. And it flows into the ocean. So it's a little stream in our ravine. I was down there today with a chainsaw. A bunch of alder trees are in the ravine, and they came down with the snow. That wet snow brought trees crisscrossing everywhere, and it just kind of looked ugly. So I went down there with the chainsaw and I bucked them all up. I dropped a bunch of trees. I ended up getting my chainsaw stuck in one because it was under tension, it was under pressure. And when it snapped back, my chainsaw got stuck in it. So climb all the way back to the top, go to the tool shed, grab my other chainsaw, and I had to cut my way in and get my other chainsaw out. So always be careful when you're cutting trees. Joe is so yep, totally. We've only had 3 cases here ever that I know of, Ed. It's business as usual on Salt Spring Island. It's a very safe place to pee. There is 0 of that on Salt Spring Island. I don't know anybody that's had it. I don't know anybody that knows anybody that's had it, but I heard there was 3 reported cases. That was ages ago. Have you ever followed the stream to the ocean? Yep. The stream goes right beside our trail. So across the street, there's a trail that goes to the beach. It actually goes through the people's property. So it's beside the trail. So yeah, no, it's really safe here, Ed. And the stream goes through North End Farm and it comes out onto the ocean. And there's a really nice nature trail. We go at our driveway, we walk down the road just a little bit, about 30 seconds, and it's right across the street, the trail. And it's about a 900-foot walk to the beach. It's a really nice nature trail, and I got lots of palm trees growing in there too. Every time I go to the beach, I throw palm seeds in there. So there's lots of palm trees growing in that trail in this wet area. But the stream comes out into the ocean, and so it's a riparian zone, so you really can't do too much around that area of the stream, right? You can't really develop anything down there, so that's why I just throw palm seeds. I just throw palm seeds around down there. One day I'm running around with my pajamas outside, another day I'm wearing... Yeah, wow, that's crazy, eh, Ben? I was talking that to somebody today. I was in the coffee shop, and a guy moved here from northern British Columbia, and he says he was just in Calgary, and he says, you know what? He doesn't have any clothes to dress for cold weather anymore since he moved to Salt Spring Island. Joe, what is the most common fig variety? Right here, well, not in Canada, but here on the Pacific Coast, we go La Tarula, so Italian honey fig, Desert King, so Desert King, Brown Turkey, Blackjack, Cadota. Those are the ones that I know the most. We have a fig farm down the road from us here, and on same road I live on, and mainly, yeah, the milder regions. And the mildest regions are here on the Pacific Coast. So there's a fig farm just down the road from me, and they have about 185 fig trees. And figs are a very common tree in people's gardens here. There's some really huge old fig trees in people's gardens here, and they produce bumper crops. And if you're in the right spot, you'll get 2 crops of figs. So in the summertime, you'll see roadside farm stands all over our island selling fresh figs, and often people will park their vehicles on the side of the road and they'll sell them right out of the back of their vehicles. You're pretty much the same here. Yeah, so summer heat here because we're right beside the ocean. Like I say, daytime temperatures here around 75 degrees where I live, and nighttime temperatures are very nice. They're very pleasant. Only Breba crop. Breba, oh, I never heard of that one, Ed. Do you have any... Yep, there's cherries blooming here. They've been blooming since they started blooming beginning of January, late December. There's cherries blooming here in Vesuvius and other places on the island. You betcha. Actually, I got a video of them. I shot a video of them. It's on this channel. I shot it weeks ago. It would have been probably early January. I shot the video of the cherry trees blooming on Salt Spring Island. Daffodils are all in bloom, and Viburnum tinus has been blooming for weeks. There's a lot of stuff blooming here. All our helleborus are blooming. Jasmine nudiflorum's done. I see hyacinths out there too. Anyone from Idaho? Iwashi. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I have anybody from Idaho that streams on here with us. I don't I haven't seen anybody from Idaho. First crop on last year's wood, Breba. Oh, cool. Right on. So what part of Germany are you in? Are you near Lake Constance, Mainau? Are you near Bremen? Or are you near Munich? What part of Germany are you in there? I mean, Germany is a pretty good size country, so it's 8A. Trackies are hardy to 8A, that far north. Near Hamburg. Okay, Hamburg, yeah. Yeah, short term though, I think, Benjamin, a bad winter. 8A is not the biggest trackies I know in 8A/8B are southeast of Vancouver, and they're 30 feet tall. So this far north, they do work only on the Pacific coast of Canada if you can find an 8A/8B location. I know because I planted them with my friend 30 years ago, over 30 years ago. You're 7B, okay, cool. That's pretty cool. I guess you're growing Trachycarpus there, right? In Cloverdale, southeast of Vancouver, a friend of mine has four 25 to 30 foot tall trackies in his garden. And we planted those trackies around 1990. And the first batch of trackies we planted froze. They froze out in a bad winter there in 8A. And the second ones we got were locally grown. So the first ones we planted were California imports. And they had 6 feet of trunk on them. And they froze dead the first winter in zone 8A. Okay, that's southeast of Vancouver. So we planted some locally grown Trachycarpus palm seedlings, and those ones are nearly 30 feet tall now. And I do have videos of them at Phil's place. His place is unbelievable. It is full of towering palm trees. We have to wait about another month. Trees bloom. I asked about Bradford before. Yeah, I don't see any Bradford pears here. I don't know anybody that grows Bradford pears. So I'm going to have to actually Google again. And I know I've Googled it years ago, but I have to catch up on the information on Bradford pear and refresh my memory. I don't know, maybe it'll be a nice tree to have in the garden if it's evergreen. I hear they're very common in the southeast. It's not a common thing here. Japanese flowering cherries are very common here. Southern magnolias are common here. Magnolia solengiana is common here. Liriodendron tulipifera is common here. The other one too, liquid amber. Microclimate in ringids would be 8A, B have to be. Yeah. Well, you got to remember, Idaho's landlocked, which creates a problem when it gets cold. My trachea suffered mine some years ago, lost all their leaves, heart. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've had mine survive minus 14.8 at my last location. They're always first to flower here very early. Maybe I should try a Bradford pear if I can find one. I've never heard of them in the nursery. When I go to the nursery next week, I'm going to ask if they have Bradford pear. The nursery down the road from me is absolutely massive, sells tons of exotic plants, and maybe I will ask about a Bradford pear because it does sound like a pretty cool tree. But yeah, I've had my trackies totally defoliate, even at minus 12 degrees Celsius because the wind was blowing, and they did refoliate. And minus 12 degrees Celsius can kill a weak trachea, and those import jobbies are way more weak. So people have to really watch it when they're importing Trachycarpus palms from Florida or Southern Cal. Hello, Michael from Poland. Good to see you in there. You made it on Wendy's live stream. Awesome. And you aren't supposed to plant them because they are. Oh, yeah. I don't think they'd be invasive here, Sam. I don't know. There are a lot of invasive things here, but I don't think Bradford pear would be invasive. I mean, if it takes over the place, that's invasive. Kind of like humans. Human beings, I think, are invasive. They are the most destructive and invasive species on the earth. Wouldn't you say that? We got minus 13 this winter, trackies. Cool, minus 13C, awesome. If you didn't have the wind with it, that's cool. The lowest temperature here was minus 2 was it minus 2.4? Minus 2.6? I got to look now in my book. I think it was minus 2.4. I will tell you. Yeah, there's lots of palm trees in Dublin. Lots of palm trees in Ireland. Coldest temperature here this past winter was minus 2.4 degrees Celsius, Ed, and that's 27.6 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm guessing the coldest places in our island this year were probably below minus 6. No wind. Yeah, you're lucky, Ed. See, that's the key. If you have wind and cold combined, that causes a lot of damage to the broadleaf evergreens, especially the palm trees. But if you have minus 13 and it's not prolonged and no wind, well, then they might be just fine with superficial frost burn. Maybe the Birmingham would be a good. Yeah, it might be. We grow Birmingham here. And like I say, Benjamin, a friend of mine up in Nanaimo had one of my Birminghams get big enough to flower. So, yeah, Ed, wind is a killer with cold. to a lot of broadleaf evergreens. And if it doesn't kill them, it definitely defoliates them. And where I used to live, it was very windy in the wintertime, and I really had to move away from there. And that's why I'm here on Salt Spring Island. I really could not hack another winter in 8A, 8B. I couldn't handle it anymore. It was frustrating because I would see a lot of my nice plants freeze dried or killed to the ground by a bad winter. And bad winters were quite common where I was. So you get these cold winds blowing for 5 days, 6 days straight. Sun and frozen ground on days. Yeah, it is a problem too. And that's one thing we don't get here is frozen ground where we are. You're not going to see the ground freeze here. It just doesn't seem to get cold enough. It's pretty rare, man. I got my water pipe sitting underneath my sun deck on the ground coming into the house, and it's never froze. Our pump house with our water tank and our pipes in it is not. It doesn't have. It's not insulated. Why the tables? You should ski though. I used to ski. I used to do a lot of skiing up at Blackcomb beside Whistler, all the local mountains, Mount Washington and Mount Baker in the States, and also Manning Park. I did Manning Park once. Used to do Baker, Seymour, Grouse, and Blackcomb a lot. Blackcomb is right beside Whistler. I've never actually skied on Whistler Mountain, but I skied on the mountain beside it because I love Blackcomb Mountain. What varieties of palm seedlings you will be shipping? I just have I have the blue sable minor. I have some of those. I have Trachycarpus fortunae hybrids, and which reminds me, I got to set some more mouse traps. I got to put some more bait in the mouse traps, Michael, because the mice have been causing havoc in the greenhouse and eating the palm seedlings. And I swear I've caught 4 or 5 mice in there now, and they've destroyed a lot of palm seedlings. It really makes me mad. Your place much milder than ours, I guess. Well, because we're on the Pacific Ocean, Ed, we're on an island out in the ocean, right? So the Southern Gulf Islands, really, we don't get too much lower than 0 degrees Celsius. It doesn't get that much lower, and an extremely cold winter would be down to about minus 6.5, something like that. Do you think Sable, Louisiana can survive? It might. You never know. I mean, we grow it here and it's fine. We have Sable Louisiana in the ground, but it's a lot milder here than Briar Island, but it might be able to. But I think Briar Island gets a lot of wind. That's the only problem. But you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Sable Minor and Sable Louisiana and Needle Palm would grow there. It's just that the heat units might be a bit of a problem, so you got to put them in a good microclimate. Yeah, you should see some of the gardens here, Ed. There's some amazing palm trees on Salt Spring Island and the Pacific coast of Canada, especially Vancouver. Vancouver, Victoria, and Vancouver suburbs, there are so many palm-lined streets it would make your head spin. There are so many palm trees on the Pacific coast of Canada. Wherever you drive around, you're definitely going to see palm trees because a lot of people have them in their gardens, and there's a lot of them in the public landscape. So Trachycarpus palms are a very common sight here along the Pacific coast of Canada. Very hardy, and especially in Vancouver, they look really nice. In the west end of Vancouver, they have the streets lined with palm trees. All along the beach, there are dozens and dozens of 20-foot or plus palm trees growing all along Sunset Beach in English Bay. It is absolutely gorgeous, and there's clusters and groves of them. When you retire, are you going to live on? No, Salt Spring Island. I'll never move to Maui. I don't think I'll ever move to Maui. Louisiana, can probably go St. Catherine. Louisiana. I wonder. They say St. Catharines is mild, but it still can get pretty cold in the wintertime. But yeah, it might be. I don't know of anybody growing any without protection, though. Maybe Pineapple Dan. He's down in Niagara. You never know. Somebody needs to try one, Ben. You need to try one. You got to go to St. Catharines. But yeah, you know what? It would be nice to live in Maui for 6 months of the year, Sam. But it's not that easy to move to Maui when you're a Canadian. So 6 months I could do. But the rest of the year, I like Salt Spring Island, and I don't intend moving away from Salt Spring Island. Wendy and I are very well established here. She's got a good business, and then I have a good job here. So when I retire, I'll get a real pension, and so I can't complain, right? But quarantine is, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. We're not in quarantine. There's no quarantine here, and we've never had any quarantine here on Salt Spring Island. But the thing is, when you go to, if I go to Maui now, I got a quarantine when I come back, and that's a pain in the butt. You know what I mean? Staying in a hotel for 3 days, and then if you're pest positive, you got to stay in for 2 weeks. Joe, which palm is hardier? Trachycarpus fortunae is hardier than Wagnerianus. Definitely more cold hardy. Trachycarpus wagnerianus is more wind resistant kind of like a Camarops. But when it comes to the frost beaters, yeah, and there's some nice waggies here. I collect seed from a nice big one in a private garden here. I got 500 waggy seeds that have germinated. You can see I just uploaded the video today. My friend has a mature grove of Wagnerianus palms. They're all over 20 feet tall. I think he has 10 of them in his front yard, and they're absolutely beautiful. So I got the seed from that. And underneath the grove is thousands of Trachycarpus wagnerianus seedlings. You got to see the guy's garden, Ed. You'd love it. It's on this channel. Wendy shot a video of it when we were there in October or November. It might have been November. And Waggy is beautiful. You would love his garden. Is Fortuna the most? It's one of the most cold hardy, and also they claim Tequilas too. Trachy is not as hardy as I expected to say. It depends on the length of the freeze, though. Trachy's are rated minus 12 degrees Celsius, Benjamin. I'm going to tell you that. A Trachycarpus fortunae is rated down to about minus 12 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Anything below that is very risky for Trachycarpus fortunae. Yes, they have, hello, Annabelle, Emmanuel? So anything below 10 degrees Fahrenheit can be detrimental to a Trachycarpus fortunae, whether it defoliates it, causes leaf damage, or kills it. But it also depends on the length of the freeze. Okay? I've had them completely defoliated at 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? But I've heard of them surviving minus 23 degrees Celsius for a short stint of that freeze, completely defoliated, and then bouncing back. Okay? So minus 23 for a mature, well-established Trachycarpus fortunae. I guarantee if you bought one from Home Depot, an import one, it would be killed at those temperatures. It's minus 16, 2 weeks and of a freeze. And was it in the ground? Yes, I learned. Thanks. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys watching. And this isn't my channel. This is actually Wendy's YouTube channel, okay? I'm doing the live stream for her because Wendy's a little bit shy and I like to talk. Mine took minus 3 Celsius. Yeah, minus 3 Celsius isn't that cold, really. So it's minus, like I say, minus 2.7. Minus 2.4, or yeah, minus 2.4 was the coldest here. What is the best place you grow for Trachycarpus? You can grow them anywhere here. Yes, around 2 years. In Canada, the best place to grow Trachycarpus is the West Coast. Any other place east of the West Coast is going to need protection. So if you're on the Pacific Coast, you can grow Trachycarpus palm anywhere you want. You can grow them in the south or north or east walls. It doesn't matter. You can grow Trachycarpus palms in full shade here, and it does not matter. If you're going to grow a Trachycarpus palm in Ontario, you better put it in the most sheltered spot, and you be prepared to box it in every winter and add heat with it. Because if you don't add heat with it, you're going to have a dead palm. And that's reality. Whether you like it or not, there is no palm tree, no Trachycarpus palm tree will ever survive east of the Pacific coast of Canada without winter protection. There it is. Mark Perry's messages came in from Wendy, my experience. Yes, they do. Ed, you're absolutely right. Trachycarpus do better with a lot of water. Did you ever find out? No, I don't. But YouTube is looking into it. And I did chat with somebody like that. So because of all that's going in the world, everything seems to take a little bit longer. Mail, YouTube, and this and that. So I'm not worried about it right now. But I did actually speak to a rep at YouTube, Maxine. I'm in Georgia. Lowest we had is 37. Oh, wow. That's nothing. 32? Okay. That's nothing. And it depends where you are in Georgia, too. I mean, Georgia, you go down to Savannah, it's like subtropical, right? Even Atlanta. Atlanta's a beautiful, warm, balmy, palmy place, but Atlanta can get really cold. Joe, say hi to Wendy. She is... Hello, Wendy.
Hello.
From Ed in Germany.
Oh, cool.
In the southeast, the sable... what part? Oh, he's in Hamburg, Germany. Wendy says, hello, Ed. That's what she says. Hello, Ed from Wendy. I'm going to go down there so you can see Wendy. What is Wendy up to? You just got a message from Mark Perry.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Wendy's actually working on this painting. So we're going to go down in here and an artist at work, folks. So Wendy is a very talented artist. And
Hi.
there's Wendy right there.
Hi.
And then there's the painting she's doing. So is that a reasonable facsimile of that? Like, look at this. So there's the portrait that a photo that somebody sent for Wendy to paint.
You got to aim it lower because you're way up at the ceiling.
Can you see that? So there's the where am I?
Go down. The phone's, tilt the phone down.
Oh, there it is right there. Sorry.
Downward.
Okay, there it is. Yeah. Right there. So there's there's a photograph. And then there's the painting that Wendy did of the photograph. She's working on it right now. And you know what's super cool about that? she added palm trees. Look at the girl's glasses. This is my friend's girlfriend, and it was taken in Palm Springs. And Wendy put palm tree reflection in the glasses. Mark just messaged you too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are palm trees. Yeah, those are palm trees.
Just sort of a
she just added the palm trees in the glasses. Isn't that cool? So I don't think there's any up there,
No.
but there is certainly some
I just did
there.
a hint of palm trees in there just to make it look a little more interesting.
So you ever want a painting done of yourself? Wendy is the lady that does it. She's very good at doing that. She does them on the beach in Maui too. Yeah. So, but that wasn't cheap. I tell you, that is not a cheap thing to get done. Trust me.
What?
Hello, April Jerry. Got my. So there you go. There's an artist at work right there. What kind of palms are they? They look like date palms.
I think more like a date palm.
They're date palms. They're date palms.
Mark said they were down in Coachella Palm Desert.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would say probably date palms or those really tall. Yeah.
There I am, and there she is. The artist at work. So anyway, yeah, I think that turned out pretty good, eh? Isn't that awesome? It looks pretty close to that photograph.
They're gonna put it in there. I think it's going
Put-
in a dining room.
Put it this way: for the price of that painting, I could buy a big Jubea palm. That's how expensive that painting is. I could buy a big Jubea palm.
This is a big painting.
It is a big painting, right there.
It's quite large.
Where am I? There it is. It is large. See,
quite
there's one.
large.
See, it is a big painting. So
Yeah.
it's going in their dining room. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
Wendy does look good at the beach too. Yes, she does. She looks very good at the beach. She said she used to. You know what? Wendy still looks pretty good at the beach.
Well, you're nice.
Well, I can't say pretty good. I'll say she look. Ed is an awesome guy. He's in Germany.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Wow.
Wendy likes Ed. Ed, you're an awesome guy.
Is it, what's the weather like there?
I think the weather's similar in Germany to what we are having right now. I'll go back outside, Ed, and I'll show you our garden, okay? I'm going to head back out into the garden here. Mail does suck. It's very slow. So I just mailed Sandor stuff in the mail today. Got it off, put it in the mailbox because he did win he won the YouTube draw yesterday on the live stream. So anyway, we're going to go out into the garden here. For those who want to see some palm trees, there's the Arbutus Tree, native Arbutus Tree. We're out here again. Here you go, Edsky. This is for Eddie, baby. You want to see some palm trees? We got lots of palm trees. There's a hybrid right there. You see that, baby? Look at that. Isn't that nice? They're growing. You can see they grow right through the winter time here. See that? See the frond right there opening up? They continue to grow year-round here, palm trees. There's one with some LED lights on it. Hello from Louisiana. Here from Bob Gimlin. Bob Gimlin. No, Wendy, this is Wendy's channel, so she checks all her comments on here. Whether she replies to them all, I don't know. I really don't know. So anyway, we'll stand under some big fatsia trees. There's some fatsia for you. And get in here in my little jungle, because I like it in the jungle. And I feel kind of at home in the jungle. This is a Trachycarpus jungle. There's lots of palm trees in here. And there you go, Ed. That's just for you. There was one you stopped growing for years. It looked like it was, again, how's it doing? Which one is that, Sam? We have so many palm trees in the garden, I lost track. We had some tourists, or not tourists, they moved to Salt Spring recently. And they came and toured our garden today for about an hour and a half. And she asked me how many palm trees we think we had. And I said, well, we literally have thousands of palm trees on this property because there are thousands just in the nursery, right? So we'll go in here like that. It's a very green place. And then there's a nice big variegated fatsia behind me. And you can see these are leafing out here now too. You see the ribes, that's flowering currant. They're ready to pop. And I'll tell you what else is ready to bloom. That's Clematis armandi right there. What's the time on Salt Spring Island? It is 3:05 p.m. Pacific time. So we're the same time zone as Los Angeles, Ed. All right, so whatever time it is in Los Angeles, it is that time on Salt Spring Island. Here's some, we have a lot of fatsia growing here. And this is Clematis armandi, and it's all budded up and bloom soon. A butylon, this is a nice subtropical plant. There's one in the front of the house. Said it was videos about it looked like it was growing. Is it the Chamaedorea radicalis? Or no, Chamaedorea microspadex, maybe, Sam? Anyway, try this one if you can get a hold of it. This is a Butylon. It's midnight. Oh, it's midnight there. Wow. I would be in bed by then because I got to work tomorrow and I get up at 5 in the morning. So this is a flowering maple, and you can see it's pretty good size. It's a pretty good sized plant, and it's beautiful. It's a type of plant, it looks like it should lose its leaves, but it is evergreen here, and it flowers profusely. It's got the most beautiful flowers on it. You'd really like that one. And then what else do we have here? Some more trackies. We have trackies all over the place. There are so many trackies in this garden. Let's just see. It was a Trachycarpus. Oh, I wonder. I'll have to check. Maybe that's when they ran the chainsaw through, Sam. Big Trachycarpus up there, too. See that one there? Right there, there's a tall Trachycarpus palm up there. And camellias are budded up and ready to pop at this location. They are blooming at some other locations that get a little bit more sun. In my opinion, East USA is much better for palms because of the four. And it's, oh, I wouldn't say that, man. You got to go to Brookings, Oregon, dude. Go to the West Coast, Brookings, Oregon, and also California. California, I think you can actually grow way more species unless you go down to Florida. If you go down to Florida, then you're into the tropics. But California, man, if you've ever been to California, you want to see some palm trees, go to southern coastal California, man. There are so many palm trees in Malibu, Santa Monica, Costa Mesa, Anaheim, Los Angeles. They grow a lot of cool palm trees in Southern California. It's absolutely awesome. But I know they grow a lot of palms on the East Coast too. But the East Coast is more subject to colder weather than California. You know that, right? Coastal California, it's rare that they even get a frost down there. See, even San Francisco, you should see the palm trees in San Francisco. San Francisco grows tons of them. So there you go. Anyway, I'm going to show you. This is another nice plant you want to try. It'll grow in the tropics right there. See that one right there with the red berries on it? This is called Nandina domestica. That's a heavenly bamboo. It's a really nice evergreen plant. And then here's a nice stand of bamboo. There was a big eucalyptus tree growing through that. And I came home and Wendy had the thing cut down. She cut it down last week, the eucalyptus tree. But there's another one here. She cut this one as well. She cut this one, and then there's another one sprouting back. And then there's another one over there. We got a lot of eucalyptus trees. Gotta go to bed. Bye-bye. Okay, see you, Ed. Take care, buddy. And thanks for joining in the live stream. Yeah, San Francisco's an extremely mild climate. Extremely mild. I'll show you something else we got here. You see some cordylines. There's some cordylines up here. I like cordylines. Cordylines are pretty cool. So we got a lot of cordylines in the garden. So if you can grow cordylines, put them in your garden. How long those big ones sprout again? How long before the big... you're welcome, Ed. Thanks for joining in there, buddy. And join in anytime. If I'm not live streaming here, I'll be on Jungle Joe C or Banana J. The big ones, I think they're going to start sprouting out in May. That's what I'm thinking. Those big eucalyptus trees that got cut down, I'm guessing probably May. I will shoot a video of them when they start to sprout. Yeah, well, we have I don't know how many cordylines we have in the garden. We have a ton of cordylines because Wendy's always planting more cordylines. So anyway, Ed, yeah, so Banana J, SSI, I stream on that one every weekend. And then on Jungle Joe C, I also stream on that one as well. In the east would be hardy. Zone 9, I think. No, I think there's actually, you're wrong. I think there's actually more palms on the west. I have to disagree with you, unless, and I'm not counting Florida. If you go down to Miami, yeah, because it's almost subtropical, but there are so many palm species that grow in California, it will make your head spin. Joe, I'd love to mail you some cordyline. Oh, cool. Cordylines are awesome. Love cordylines. Even the seeds. If you did, I'd trade you for some trachy seeds. How's that sound? Send me some cordylines, and I send you some trachy seeds. Yeah, the wind sure makes... The problem with windmill palms, they get really... When it gets windy, it really messes up the fronds, right? It really does. It can make a mess of the fronds. But anyway, overall, they're beautiful. Look at how nice those fronds look, eh? And no tip burn on them or anything. They're just absolutely flawless. And yeah, everything's doing really well. There's the ivy behind me, which is a really bad, noxious weed. You see that on the tree right there behind me? That English ivy? Many plants just don't do as good on the west coast as the desert and east. Well, you'd be surprised, man. I've been down to California several times, man, and there's some pretty awesome palms and gardens down there, you know. So, but to each his own. I'm a west guy, but I like the east too. Yeah, English ivy is a very bad, noxious weed here. It's very, very invasive. Okay, folks, there's a loquat. You want to see the loquat? There's a loquat tree. You see that? You can see the causarium in the plastic bag right there. I got to take that off. It's probably got enough heat units down, but that is a I don't know if you can see that loquat right down there, and then there's a weather station down there too. So that's the top of the loquat tree. Is that trachea, that eucalyptus pulled down curving yet? Is that eucalyptus down? It actually seems like it's pushing a little bit. That one that they cut down, the trachea. Yeah, it seems like it is actually moving a little bit. So I put a little plastic cup over top of it, and hopefully it will regrow back. It's kind of about said. Kumquat is good. Yeah, we have a kumquat, and it's loaded. It's absolutely loaded with fruit. Let's go see. I'll show you the kumquat. I'll go out to the front of the house, and Wendy's analyzing her painting. Analyzing. Wendy does some really cool palm tree art too. She's painted some really nice palm trees. Okay. Hey, sorry guys. Okay, it doesn't look like it's there. There it goes. Yeah, they're closed today. Sorry guys, I stepped out the front door and lost the connection. So this is Wendy's iPhone, and anyway, I'm back. Yeah, I went out the front door, and the minute I shut the door, Sam, the connection was lost. So I was going to show you the kumquat, but I can't show you the kumquat. There's a lot of fruit on it, and that's what it looks like out the back window right there. That's where the eucalyptus tree used to be. That's where the massive cedar tree used to be. This used to be all shaded. So those fatsia trees used to be in the shade. And what I'm thinking now, they're probably going to burn a bit. Connection is back. Yeah, and then there's a nice Trachycarpus palm right there. They cut down the one beside it. There's the eucalyptus stump right there. I mean, there's a lot of palms back there. And you can see in the back 40, you can see a grove of bamboo way back there. And there's a pond back there. Yeah, anyway, like I said, word of caution, do not plant eucalyptus trees too close to your house because they are very dangerous when they get big. And like I said, ours were 100 feet tall and dropping big branches. And man, you get clocked by one of those branches, it's game over. And because... septic field. Don't put them close to your... and they'll wreck a foundation. They will break a foundation too. So that's a word of caution, right? So be very, very careful when planting eucalyptus trees. Keep them way away from your house. Why does Bigfoot have alts? What is that? I don't know what that means.
Alts is alternative.
I don't know what that means. California is impressive, but there are huge amount of palms completely suited for the Mediterranean. Well, I tell you what grows in California. I've seen king palms. There's Cygris everywhere, Washingtonias. There's Camarops. There's Tracheas don't look the greatest. There's Jubaeas. There's Butias. There's Siroxylon, Parajubaeas. There's so many even really tropical-like species there too. Yeah. So, and you know what? Go to the Oregon coast, Benjamin. You want to see some nice palm trees. Queen palms, they grow king palms. They grow a whole bunch of stuff. Nuts are used for different things like gaming channel. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure. I'm not an expert in the internet, that's for sure. I just do these live streams and put on videos, and that's as far as I go with the internet. So I was going to head up to the nursery after this, but I think the nursery's closed today. So no nursery today. And then there's Wendy's cool bike that she's got to get on the road. That's a brand new bike she got like months ago, and she hasn't even used it yet. Yeah, but there are so many. Yeah, Christmas. I don't think you're going to go Christmas palm Vicia Morillii in California. There are coconuts. There's definitely coconut palms in Southern California. And, well, there's a whole mixed mash of everything. Matter of fact, I think I did actually spot a coconut palm when I was down in Malibu, down in Santa Monica. I spotted one it was Costa Mesa. And I'm sure I spotted a coconut palm in a person's yard when we were cruising by on a bus. What was that?
My chips.
Oh, Wendy just dropped her chips. Call the dog over. Puppy, go eat. You want to see Kahoot? There's the dog resting comfortably on the couch. Are there royal palms? I think I think Phil Bergman grows royal palms down in Westminster, California. Saw a question, Brookings Street view while it was curved. Oh, yeah. I've been up and down every street in Brookings, Oregon, Benjamin. Yeah. Puppy, go eat some chips. There are so many palm trees in Brookings, Oregon, and massive agave plants and citrus, you name it, and Norfolk Island pines, they all grow in Brookings, and lots of Washingtonias. There's big Washingtonias there. Anyway, looks like my battery is low power mode. So you know what, guys? I'm gonna have to charge it, and I'm gonna have to say sayonara. I'm gonna have to say aloha to everybody out there in YouTube live stream land. So thanks for joining in the live stream here on Wendy's channel, and I will see you next live stream next weekend. And bye bye, everybody. And next weekend I will do one on Saturday, and then I'll do one on Sunday. I think the one on Saturday I'll do on Banana JSSI. Oh, no, you were here earlier, weren't you, Camel? I think. So, yeah, I will do one on Banana JSSI Saturday. I could do one Friday night, too. Are there lots of yeah, we have lots of salamanders, and we have lots of red rough-skinned newts. And we also have Norfolk Island pines, I thought.
Frogs.
No, there's beautiful ones in Brookings, Oregon, Benjamin. I got photos of them. I've posted them on People Who Love Palm Trees. There's nice sized Norfolk Island pines growing in Brookings, Oregon. Matter of fact, there's one guy, I went to his place, and he had about 3 or 4 of them in his front yard, big ones. Please don't go. I just got here. Please don't go yet. I just got here. You did okay. Avery Lynn, I'll hang on for a few more minutes, and then I'll step back outside for Avery Lynn so she can see some of the palmy things in our garden. And it is really a nice day out here. Brookings date palms are nice, but you don't. Oh no, that's wrong, man. There are massive ones in Brookings, Oregon. There are date palms that are 60 feet tall in Brookings, Oregon, man. Huge ones with massive crowns. They're just as big as the ones in Eureka. I got a good friend that lives in Eureka, Matt, and Matt lives in Eureka. I remember years ago, about 20 years ago, he sent me a disc of all date. Can you do a live stream on the charger? Yeah, I guess I could. So anyway, here you go. There you go, Avery. There's a few palms for you here in our garden on Salt Spring Island. All right. Yeah, so there are some huge date palms. You should see the photos I take of the date palms in Brookings. Massive crowns on them and huge trunks planted back in the 1950s, a lot of them, and absolutely flawless. Absolutely flawless. So I know they're just as big in Brookings as they are in Eureka. Definitely. You got to go to Brookings, Oregon. Brookings, Oregon is about 11-hour drive south of here. Avery Lynn Lorraine. Where are you, Avery Lynn Lorraine? Where is your... I plugged in the charger. Whereabouts are you? What part of the States are you in, or are you in the States? Okay, now I plugged in the charger, and hopefully... you got to show me them. I thought the street CIB... No, they're massive. Are you on People Who Love Palm Trees? You're probably not on Facebook, are you? So I can't show you. I don't have videos of them. I just have pictures of them. I have lots of pictures of date palms and an old school photo album, but I should have some on digital too. And I've often posted them on People Who Love Palm Trees in Facebook. But I don't think Benjamin is actually on Facebook, so you'll probably never see them. Long Beach, New York, 7A. Okay, cool. Nice area. There's some needle palms there, and there should be some sable minor. And I do have a friend in New York that does grow Trachycarpus up against me. I don't know how it's doing long term, but they have been there for a while the last time I saw them. Yeah. So this area here, Averill, is our island. You know where our island is, I'm guessing, Avery. It is in the Southern Gulf Islands off the extreme southwest coast of British Columbia, okay? So generally the islands are classed as Zone 9A, but I'm on Facebook as Palm Canada. Oh, okay. So are you in my group, People Who Love Palm Trees and Exotic Plants? Are you in that group? Because I'm going to find some pictures later and I'll post them on there. There are pindos here too. Downtown 7B, yeah. Are they protect? They probably have to protect them though, for sure. I just grounded a small Trachycarpus. Cool. Lorraine. Oh, really? Oh, no way. Yeah, there's no pindo palm's going to make it in New York. I know that for a fact. I attached the palm. Okay, value game. Cool. Hey, Sandor, I sent your package this morning. Okay, I sent you. I'm not, but I know. Avery Lynn Lorraine. Yeah. Well, anyway, shoot a video of the Pindo palm in New York. That's one way to prove that there is a Pindo palm in New York with no winter protection. I don't think it would ever survive there long term. Yeah. So anyway, let us know, Sandor, when it gets there. Hey, Sandor, I got to show you. I don't know if you just got in here. I'll show you Wendy's latest. She added what kind of problem is the wind a problem? Yeah. They don't like too much wind. There it is. There's the palm tree, Sandor, Wendy added to this, her reflection of the glasses. Yeah, so she's added date palms to it, right? Isn't that cool? He is going to system. Yeah, it should be all right. Just they don't like cold winds. That's the thing. Regular winds, okay. They don't like extreme, bitter, cold winds, right? Yeah, I like the palm tree. So she messaged the guy, which is a longtime friend of mine since elementary school. He lives on the mainland, east of Vancouver. She says, "Can I put a reflection of palm trees in there because it was taken in Palm Springs?" So now this lady's got palm reflection in the. That's his girlfriend. Okay, Wendy, you did a great job. Sandor said.
Well, thanks, Sandor.
And Wendy says, "Thanks, Sandor." So I think that looks pretty good. Eh? It looks pretty darn close. See you, Benjamin. See you later. Stay warm out there and stay safe. And I'm going to get ready to go outside soon.
Where do you go?
You want to go?
Yeah.
Wendy wants to go somewhere. I want to see the Lady Liberty on Wednesday. I went to see Lady. Do you mean the Statue of Liberty? Statue of Liberty? Lady Liberty? Statue of Liberty, I'm guessing. Huh, cool. I'd like to see the Statue of Liberty too. My son's been to New York. My youngest son went to New York a couple years ago. Was it 2 years ago? And then he went to Georgia a couple times, Joe. Nice. Thanks, Avery. I see your video vine on the patio. What is it? I see on your video a vine on your patio. On the front patio, we have Holobolia, and we also have Clematis armandi. Yeah, so it'd be nice to see the Statue of Liberty. Very tropical look, yeah. And we also have passion vine. Wendy's got a lot of vines. We have one area of our garden that's just a row of vines, and you can walk beside them. It's really cool. Parts of Long Island are 7B, which is warm enough. Yeah, long term, no. Because Pindo palms, you go look at the ones in Arkansas right now, and they're dead. I'm sure Austin's might be dead down in Arkansas. They got so cold, and he's in about 7B, 8A. It's probably 8A. It looked fried from the freeze they had about a week or so ago. So I know the hardiness of Pindo palms, trust me. And they are far less cold tolerant than Trachycarpus and far less cold tolerant than Jubea chilensis. I've lost Pindo palms before. They're very prone to spear loss. And if you don't hit them fast with the hydrogen peroxide or copper sulfate, they are done. If they don't get their center spear back, then they're toast. And what will happen, you can lose the center spear and the outer fronds will stay green sometimes for 2 years. And they are cool, but they're not that hardy. Avery is not that far north. Nope, if she's in New York, but I doubt any Pindo palm could ever survive long term in New York. Long term. I know Fritz, what's his name? I know a guy there that tried it, but I don't think they're in his garden anymore. I think they froze. He's got he does have a Camarops he covers up. He's got needle palm, and he's got sable minor, and he's got some trackies, but he does cover up the trackies when it gets cold. So, like I say, a friend of mine in Pennsylvania had a 25 foot tall trackie in his garden near Wernersville, and it was there since '88, and it froze out the last polar vortex. Far from the it is too far. So it is way too far north for Pindos. If somebody can prove me wrong, go for it. There's a Pindo palm on the south side of a brick building on Martha's Vineyard. I'd like to see it. Somebody show me a picture of the, because I even think Martha's Vineyard is too cold for Pindo palm. So somebody prove me wrong and get a video of the Martha Vineyard. And actually, I will post when I get to my Facebook page, my group, People Who Love Palm Trees and Exotic Plants, I'm going to ask somebody, because somebody will know about Martha's Vineyard Butia palm. And I'm going to get somebody out there to find it and post a picture of it for me. Okay? I know palm growers all over the world, and I know a lot of palm growers in Connecticut and Massachusetts that grow hardier palms, and they know the climate of Martha's Vineyard. And I know it can get pretty cold out there, but I don't know of any. I don't know of any Pindo palms growing. I've never heard of it on Martha's Vineyard. I think Sable Minor and Needle Palm would do there, but I even think Trachycarpus would be short term on Martha's Vineyard. I think Martha's Vineyard would probably be what, zone 7, right? Am I right? 7B? Am I correct? I want to see proof. I do need to see proof of it. So somebody get out to Martha's Vineyard and shoot a video of the Boutia palm and show us what it's like. So people got to back up the palm claims, right? So I back stuff up with videos, and that's why I have a lot of videos. Hydrangea 9B, and is there palm? There's no, the Hydrangea is 8B, and probably high end to 8B in Hydrangea. You can write the name. I'm French. I don't understand well the name looks for. So Hydrangea is far north of here. I'll show you Long Island palms. I want to see them. I want to see the palms in Long Island. I think there's Sable Minor and Needle Palms on Long Island for sure. And there might even be the odd Trachy in a sheltered spot, but not long term. Hydrangea, Trachycarpus palms would grow. They definitely don't get the heat units up there, but it is mild enough in Hydrangea to grow Trachycarpus palms. I sent a shipload, a crap load of them up there to Hydrangea when we had people stay here at our B&B and seeds too. So, but Hydrangea is more like 8B. I don't know if it's 9A. Look up the island-wide palms on YouTube. He shows them. Look up island-wide palms on YouTube. He shows them. Okay, somebody look up island-wide palms on YouTube. Avery, no, zone 9 Hydrangea. That is, yeah, there is a zone. It's zone 8B up in Hydrangea, and there might even be some 8A up in the very northern end of it. But my uncle used to live in Hydrangea when it was Queen Charlotte's. So I think Trachycarpus would not have a problem growing up there because it's mild and it's wet in the wintertime. Anyway, somebody find the Boutia on Martha's Vineyard. I want to see it. And I'm actually going to post in my group, People Who Love Palm Trees. And I watched, so what is island-wide palms? So what does the name of the vine look like vanilla in your patio? Looks like vanilla on our patio. It might be Clematis armandi. I think it's Clematis armandi. That's what it would be. Clematis. Second word is armandi. Survive. Yeah. Low battery. Anyway, guys, I should get rolling. When? Where are you going?
I'm going to go to Justin.
Oh, she's going to go to Justin's. Okay.
You can come if you want.
No, I'm not going to go.
Okay.
I'm doing a live stream. Not long term, but for at least 5 years. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure. I mean, I know where palms grow all over the world, and I know there's just some areas that they're not suited for unless you got the most cold hardy palms like Rapidophyllum, Hystrix, and Sable Minor. I mean, those are hardy palms. And yeah, I could see those growing out in Martha's Vineyard or Nantucket. But Trachycarpus, I think, would be short-term. Brookings date palms are big, but... Oh, there's huge ones there, man. I'm going to have to show you a picture. One, I talked to the lady that planted it in 1954. It was probably 60 feet tall and just an absolute massive crown on it. She planted 2 of them in 1954. But there are big ones in Eureka, too. And Brookings is extremely mild, too. Sandra, they're actually long-term in Cape Charles. What about Bowen Island and the bugs? Nope, there's no bugs killing off any palm trees in Vancouver. There's no pests on palm trees here this far north. Matter of fact, I just had 2 lovely ladies visit our garden from Bowen Island today. Does the bamboo can disturb plant like banana tree and Trachycarpus? Yeah, I wouldn't plant it too close to them because it'll be competition for them. Yeah, we had 2 nice ladies that moved to our island from Bowen Island. Show me the pic. Where is it in Brookings? The pic I have in my photo album. Let me go see. I'll tell you what. Let's grab my photo album since I have the live stream, and I'm going to show you some pictures of palm trees in Brookings. You got to remember, the last time I was in Brookings was 2004. I was there 17 years ago. So the palm trees that I took pictures of then are much bigger now. All right? So they were big then, and they are huge now. There are no mods compared to mods in your main... Yeah, I don't know if Wendy has any mods on this channel. Okay, so I'm going to find Brookings... palm trees, okay? And when I talk about old school, they're in a photo album, okay? They're in an old school photo album. So let me just turn on this light here. And this is all palm trees. Oh, let's see. There's a cactus for you. Look at that one. Oops. Right there. Can you see that? See that cactus? I don't know if you can see that. Right there is my daughter standing in front of a huge cactus in Nanaimo. Brookings, Oregon. Let's see here. Okay, so there's one in Gold Beach. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. See that date palm? That one's in Gold Beach. And I'm going to show you a really tall one here in Brookings. You got to remember, this is 17 years ago. I took these photos. Come on. You see that one right there? There's a big one right there. Right there, there's a big date palm in Brookings. Right there. And can you see that? Right there, there's a date palm. There's so many date palms in Brookings. And I see if I got the pictures of the Araucaria in here too. And Washingtonias. I'm going to show you the pictures of the Washingtonias. Here's a nice one. Look at this one. Oops. See that one right there? There's a nice one in Brookings right there. Big ones, big crowns on them. That one there's in Gold Beach. That one there survived. There's a big one here. This thing is so massive now. This palm tree is so massive. You see me standing by the trunk right there? This thing is so much bigger now. The trunk would probably come up to there. That is just an absolutely huge palm. And that's in Brookings, Oregon. And I have so many photos of Brookings, Oregon here. The agaves were absolutely huge. Let's just see. I'll show you the agaves, guys. It's hard to see. There's agaves here that are as tall as the telephone poles, the spikes. I guess you're right, but I'll share some date palms. Oh, I have lots of date palm pics from Eureka, trust me. My buddy sent me a disc, like I said. I got a friend that lives there, a good friend, Matt Prim, and he sent me tons of pictures of date palms from there. I saw the date palm on a Facebook group. Did you? Okay, cool. There am I standing beside it, Sandor, right there. See that? I'm standing beside the trunk on that one. I talked to the owners. The owners bought the place in 1976, and the date palm was there in 76. Yeah, there are some big ones in Eureka, too. Definitely big date palms. I'm trying to find the Washingtonias. There's some really nice Washingtonias in Brookings. So, and I have photos of them. So let me just find them here, and I'll show you. And there's big ones there. And I saw Washingtonia flifera, too. Some huge cordyline. There's lots of cordyline. There's a nice date palm right there in Brookings. Look at this one. See that one? Look at the size of that one. Big, big date palm. And let's just see. Come on, washies. Old school photos, eh? They're just like, it's crazy looking at these old school photos because now everything is digital. Here's some washies growing in Brookings. See, there's some Washingtonia robusta right there. I mean, there's way taller ones than that with some yucca elephant tippies. There's some more washies. There's another washi. Whoops. There's another washi right there. You see that? There's a washi in Brookings right there. Lots of robusta there. Remember some really nice ones growing in like an old folks' home. Anyway, oh, and here's some native cactus on Salt Spring Island. If you can see that. You see that? Native cactus right there growing in the wild on Salt Spring Island. Right there. I took that picture actually just down the road from here. So that's Opuntia fragilis prickly pear. Oh, yeah. There's so many washies there, Ben. Here's some pictures I took down in Southern Cal right there. There's some big date palms right there. That's down in Malibu, Santa Monica area. So lots of big washies down there too. It's crazy what grows in Southern California. I think the climate is absolutely perfect. Here's one that grew on Salt Spring. Here's one that grew in Salt Spring. This is when it was smaller. And that washi grew outside for probably close to 10 years. I think it might have been a filibusta. And it was never protected. And the trunk got to probably about maybe 5 feet tall, close to 5 feet tall. And it was featured in Hardy Palm International twice. And then my friend sold the place, and the new owners had it removed. They had it cut down. Yeah, so there you go. So there's a few pictures in my old school photo album of palm trees. Isn't that crazy? There it is. Wow, I'm looking at some of these pictures of palms here. And some of them are so tall now. Like this one in Tofino was planted many, many moons ago, and that one's like 35 feet tall. Crazy. Anyway, folks, you know I love... Oh, there's a Washingtonia flifera. If you can see that. There's a Washingtonia flifera right there in Brookings, Oregon. Can you see that one right there? On this bottom, right there. Washingtonia flifera. So, there you go, folks. Just a few palmy picks for my friends out there in YouTube land. Here's me picking figs on Salt Spring. Look at how big that fig tree is. See that? I'm up on the orchard ladder. That's a really big fig tree. That fig tree was about 25, 30 feet wide, and you can see how tall it is. I'm at the top of the orchard ladder. It's just absolutely massive. So, Cedar Point. Anyway, there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that, folks. Because I enjoy palm trees. And you know what? Like I said, next month, I'm going to be back in Tofino. So, stay tuned for live streaming from Tofino, and I'm going to show you some beautiful palm trees and cordyline. Mango Mite Cedar is real. Cedar Point Island does not exist. Mango Mike. I'm leaving so that drama starts. I can't. I missed it. It goes too fast on this phone. That's the problem when you guys, your comments. Yeah, thanks, Sandor. And congratulations again on your win yesterday, your YouTube win. So another month, there will be another draw, and there will be another lucky winner. And I'm just happy when people let me know when the package actually arrives. Like I said, Sandra, be patient because things are taking a lot longer now to get to where they are going. Fatsia seeds germinate quickly. Oh, yeah, not too bad, Value Game. I'm making a YouTube video providing Cedar Point Island is real, and it will have your name. Cool. Yeah, I don't know where Cedar Point is. I'm not really sure where Cedar Point is. I keep hearing about it, but I don't know where it is. Looks like my battery's down to 10%. Okay, Benjamin. I know it's slower. Yeah, it is very slow now because of everything. And they even tell me that at the post office, right? So there you go. Anyway, I better plug this phone in before it dies. I hope everybody has a good day out there. What's left of it. It is 3:40 p.m. Looks like I've been streaming long enough on Wendy's channel. I wasn't planning on talking too long on here, but, 5 minutes turns into 10 and 10 into 20. Fatsy is strong front of the... as long as it's not cold wind, Value Game. Cold wind. Cedar Point is on an island, but they're... Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm not too sure where it is. I'm guessing it's in the northeastern United States. Okay, see ya. Wendy took off. She went to go deliver a palm tree to somebody, but see you later, Sandor. See you, Sam, Bigfoot, everybody else that's in there. Avery, who else is in there? I don't know. Value Game. Cedar Point is real and is on Lake Erie, but Cedar Point Island is fake, is certainly not Zone 8B. Yeah, I don't know of any Zone 8Bs in Ohio, unless somebody knows of one and I don't. I really don't know of Zone 8B in Ohio, right? I don't know what is you guys know, you guys live over there. What is the mildest growing zone in Ohio? Is the Northern Ohio roller coaster cast? Oh, cool. Hey, I like roller coasters. So what is the growing zone in Cedar Point then? Would it be, I guess, Zone 7 or 6B or 7? Is that what it would be? Maybe 7, right? I'm guessing 7. So what would it be? Give me the dirt there, Sam. Or Palms USA if you're in there. I'm waiting because my battery's going to die here really soon. 10% battery life. So this iPhone, Wendy's iPhone, is going to peter out very, very quickly. All right. So Ohio is nothing higher than 7A. Okay. I was thinking the same thing. 7A. 6B. Sam says 6B. So there's certainly no Pindo palms there. There would be no Trachycarpus palms, but there might be some Sable Minor and some needle palms. Possibly 7A micro. Most southern part of the state is 6A, 6B. Interesting. Okay. Thanks, Palms USA. Appreciate it. Yeah, and now I got to find the Pindo palm on Martha's Vineyard. I'm going to post in People Who Love Palm Trees and see if somebody can actually post a picture or tell me about the palm tree growing in Martha's Vineyard. Ohio, a 6B southern tip and shoreline. Interesting. Okay. Sam knows because Sam lives in Ohio. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate the info. And just make the best of what you have. We all live in different growing zones. We all live in different climates. And just enjoy where your long-term needle palms in Cincinnati. Yeah, there was some there. I saw some pictures of them posted in Cincinnati, which is pretty cool. Anyway, I better go plug in this phone, guys, before she dies off. And you know what I got to do? I got to go set some more traps in the greenhouse. I got to put food in the trap for the mice. Any palms in Martha's Vineyard? Well, somebody said there's a Pindo palm in Martha's Vineyard. That's what Avery said. There's a Pindo palm in Martha's Vineyard. I want to see a picture of that Pindo palm. I am in 6A. Okay, probably northern 7A. Sam. Interesting. Okay, cool. Well, there could be needle palms there then for sure. Needle palms and sable liner. All right, I'm going to say sayonara, aloha, cheers to you all. Thanks for joining in the live stream, and I will see you next time. Thanks for joining in on Gulf Island Rock. It makes Wendy happy when I do a live stream. Hey, maybe I can see what it's like here. Hey, Google, what is the temperature in Cedar Point, Ohio?
The temperature in Cedar Point right now is 13 degrees.
Oh, it's nice. 13 degrees Celsius in Cedar Point. Hey, it's warmer in Cedar Point than it is here. I'm in Zone 7A National Mall. Is EC or Zone 7B? Cool. All right, guys. I better run here. This battery's going to die. I'm going to plug this sucker in, and then I'm going to head down to the greenhouse. I think I might put a video on first, and that's about it. All right, take care. Thanks for streaming with us, Sam. Gotta love the emojis. Thanks, everybody out there, for joining in to our live stream. I got to figure out how to shut this thing off. All right? Cheers to you all, and I will see you. I had a 6B winter. Got down to -2. Oh, there's Wendy. She's back already. Cheers, Joe. Thank you so much. Okay, cheers, Palms USA, and everybody in there for the live stream. Oh, Wendy just got back. Did you just get back?
Yeah, they weren't there, so I just left it at the door.
Can you turn this off now? Wendy's going to say bye-bye because I'm finishing your live stream. Aloha, Sam. And I'm going to let Wendy turn off this live stream. See the bananas? See, there's our musabaju right there. Or not musabaju, musa acuminata. Sorry.
How to turn it off.
Aloha, Wendy from Palms USA.
Aloha.
And Sandor and everybody.
I don't know how to turn it off.
You don't know how to turn it off. So we're
I'm
going to
not
figure this
very
out.
good.
She's not a good iPhone turner offer. So I'm going to say see you guys later. And cheers and aloha from her, Wendy,
Cheers.
and me. All right, so we're
Okay.
going to click this off.